Well, thank you for joining us here on Mortal to Mortal. Today I have with me the ever amazing Lady Ashley. Thank you so much for joining me today, Ashley.
Hi.
Now, for those that are watching that don't know who you are, can you tell us a little about yourself?
So I'm Ashley. I stream and write under the name Glitchy or Glitchy TV, depending where I am. And yeah, I'm a geek who plays video games. That's pretty much it.
Perfect. Neat. Um, so how long have you been, streaming? And what got you into it in the first place?
Ooh, streaming. I've been streaming for about 2 years now. The past year, not as much due to having work commitments.
Oh.
I have a variable schedule, so it's hard for me to schedule in times to stream.
Hmm.
Um, and I got into streaming by streaming for All That's Cosplay,
Oh,
which
okay.
is a cosplay site, and they had a stream, and it was one way to promote cosplayers, the site, and our articles and things like that. And
Nice.
I kind of always wanted to look into streaming, so that was the first like taste of it.
Neat, neat. Have you been a gamer much longer, I assume?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been gaming since I can remember.
Nice.
So I know my mom said that I've been gaming since I was probably like at least 6.
Nice, okay.
Yeah.
Hardcore, yeah. It's commitment. Neat. Um, do you have any games that you're skipping ahead? I know that streaming, as you do, is often about the interaction with viewers. What's the most positive experience or exchange you've had with your viewers? Have you ever?
Oh, well, there's a lot of them. Like
Oh.
every day they can impact me in
Mm,
some form or way that can brighten my day. Like if I'm
nice.
having a bad day and and I stream, they help
Mm,
cheer me up. Or, if I'm doing really bad in a game, like they'll make me feel better or something like
mm,
that. But
mm,
um, I would say one experience that stands out is about probably a little less than a year ago, I broke up with my boyfriend of a very long
oh,
time.
okay.
And on right around the same time, randomly in the mail, I got a Soul Eater necklace from one
Oh,
of my followers who just randomly sent it to me off my wish list. And just the timing of it, I just broke down in my
oh,
car crying. But
yeah,
it was like, oh, I kind of just needed
right.
this. And like the note that came with it was just amazing. So,
That's wonderful. Oh, isn't
yeah.
that perfect
Yeah.
timing too? Oh, good. That's neat. Um, so do you have any games that you're like eagerly waiting to play or stream? Anything you're waiting to come out and be released?
Um, Well, a lot of the stuff I want to play is currently like I would prefer to play it on console.
Uh,
So I need to save for the console first. But like Horizon Zero Dawn looks
mm,
so amazing. I love that it's, a female protagonist and it's like
yes.
and it's different with, the machine creatures versus regular creatures and things of that nature. So I've been really, really intrigued at that since it first got announced at E3 in 2014, I believe.
Ooh, it's a long wait. I mean, I
Or
guess.
2000, yeah, when it was first announced at E3. Um, I love to play Final Fantasy 15, and
Oh, yes.
um, one of my friends, he plays a lot of Arc and stuff, so he's always like, "Come play Arc with me." When I'm
Okay.
like, I don't have an Xbox, so there's a lot of
Right.
things I'd like to play,
Mm,
but the finances just
yeah.
aren't there. So
Especially when they're spread across all the consoles like that. Like,
yeah, so it's a little
yeah.
bit like
Uh, um, it would be nice if they were slightly more reasonably priced, the consoles. Like,
yeah.
you know. Um, so aside from streaming, do you have any other projects on the horizon? Anything else you're working on or?
Um, well, usually I spend a lot of my time writing, so
Oh.
in the past few months I've been before the new year.
Mhm.
I was doing the journalism training program through gameskinny.com and their
Oh,
video game journalism site. And
nice.
it's a really awesome program in the sense that not only does it give you how to write, but it also has networking, it has how to
Really?
source leads, it's um, coming down to how to do interviews, how to write reviews. So, in
Okay.
the grand scheme of things, you're learning much more than just video game journalism. You're learning a lot of like the core journalism stuff. So,
Wow.
I think it's like a really great program. Like, it's so good that you can even get like course credit for it through like an internship for college and stuff. So,
Really? Okay.
yeah, it's really fun. I plan on doing it again in the future. I just like doing it, and you make a little money doing it. If
Okay,
you
good.
if things work, you get views and stuff. You earn on that. So
Nice. Huh.
yeah. Besides that, just trying to finish costumes that I start and never finish.
Ah, right, right. Yeah, the cosplay. Um, well, I do want to ask you about that in a minute, actually. Um, writing, have you always had an interest in that, or is that something that you've picked up recently?
um, no, kind of always had an interest. Not so much when I was a lot younger, but
Hmm.
when we moved to New Hampshire when I was 10,
Okay.
I did a lot of reading and I didn't have my core friends, and
Uh,
I had a very close knit family. Like I had a lot of
mm.
cousins my age and stuff that we would
Oh,
always play together or go and do things.
neat.
So I kind of would start reading and something would spark and then I would start writing and stuff
Mm.
like that. So it's kind of always been there, but
Okay, that's neat. Well, I'm glad you were able to that you found that course
yes.
and everything. Uh, um, did you want to talk at all about because I completely blanked on that the costuming and cosplaying?
Um well, honestly, I'm just getting into it.
Okay,
I
okay,
am pretty bad at sewing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm
neat.
pretty bad. I kind of just wing things and hope for the best, and
Okay,
sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't.
neat.
Um, Getting into some of like the bigger projects that I'd like to do, it is a little time and money intensive.
Okay.
Just you have to get the right fabric, or if there's armor, you want to
Uh,
get some sort of like EVA foam or Warbler,
uh,
something like that that can really
be
work.
shaped and contoured. Yeah,
Yeah,
gotcha.
so
Okay.
it's a little bit difficult, but I do have very crafty family.
Okay.
So I kind of just take all their scraps and I'm like, oh, I have
Yes.
like just enough of this to like make that. So that's kind of how I'm doing it right
Right?
now. So, you
Well, that's
know,
great. Good. Yeah, and you've got to start somewhere with that stuff,
yeah,
no one starts out a pro. That's good though. I have a number of friends that are really interested in that, so that's seem to
yeah,
enjoy it. Yeah. Let's see. Well, before we get into the sort of fun question area, um, you had mentioned before we got started tonight that you got some tickets to something pretty cool, a steampunk ball.
yeah.
Yeah.
So in Vermont, there is a steampunk festival.
Oh,
Um, Probably, I think it's in August. And
okay.
I went last year with one of my friends. It was so much fun.
Oh,
And this year, in the town that I just moved to, they're actually, first year doing it, they're having a steampunk ball.
okay.
So it's Alice in Wonderland themed, but you
Uh,
don't have to do a costume that's falls under that. But they're going to have a
okay.
costume contest. There's going
Nice.
to be dancing and prizes and things like that. So it's really exciting. It's like 5 minutes from my apartment, so it's like yes,
Yes. Yeah.
I don't have to like drive 2 hours to go to something cosplay related. So I'm like
Right.
really excited. And then you also like I'm excited because I get to meet people that probably live close by that are in that community that I could probably
Right.
learn from or have like crafting sessions with and things like that. So I'm super excited.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
So for viewers, you'll have to keep an eye out in case Ashley posts anything there. Her info will be linked below there, so go follow her for all the reasons, but also that. So, um, all right. So this is sort of a more, a fun section here where we ask some sort of slightly random, little silly questions, just
Hmm.
so the people that know you can maybe get to know you a little better. Um, so the first one being, what were you like in high school?
I was like that shy girl that was like by herself in the corner for the most
Oh,
part.
really?
Yeah, really shy, kind of I guess like one of the smarter. Like I came off
Mm-hmm.
very like nerdy and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but mostly shy. That's usually when I would talk to people. They're like, "Oh, like I remember you, but you never talk to anyone." And I was just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"I talked to like one person. That's it."
Right? You didn't see that? That's great.
But yeah, that would be me.
Neat. That's cool. You've certainly come out of your that shell then, I suppose. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Um, what is the weirdest thing that has happened to you recently? Just in general. Any strange
Weird.
or yeah.
Hmm. I'm not quite sure there's any sort of weird things. Oh, well, something that's a
Mm,
little weird. So, I worked at a country club when I lived back at home before I moved,
okay.
and I had a really close friend there. He was the bartender and another server and stuff. We were
Oh.
some of the only people that played video games, so we kind of bonded over
Mm,
that. And he's now actually going to be working in the town that I live in. He just
really?
got a new job. So I'm like, yes, I can still annoy you, but it's kind of odd that I move and then like less than a month later he gets a
Yeah.
job here. So I
Yeah.
guess that's weird.
Yeah. That's interesting, right?
Yeah.
um, let's see. Oh, these are. I think these are two fairly potentially brutal questions. uh, what would you say is your best quality?
Ooh,
Mm,
best quality. I would say probably that I'm open-minded.
okay.
Um, like I love learning new things and
Mm,
I love like hearing people's point of views
okay.
and how they see things.
Mm.
And I very recently got into like meditation and
Oh,
just
really?
learning about different religions or spiritual ideologies and things like that. So
Okay.
I think that's probably like my best quality is like I can listen to people and I can communicate with them and
Mm,
kind of accept them how they are.
that's wonderful. Yeah.
I'd say that's the best one.
Yeah. That's great. On the flip side, what do you think is your worst quality?
Oh, I have a temper.
Oh, okay. Fiery
Yeah.
spirit. Yeah.
It doesn't come out very often and it's
Mm-hmm.
usually not when like I'm angry.
Mm,
Um, Sometimes it'll come out like when people are ignorant and they know
yeah.
they're ignorant, but they don't want to like change their ideas.
Mm,
But most of the time, I get very angry when I'm like hurt, and then
okay.
I get very mean. So
Neat.
I'd say that's probably the worst one.
Okay, that's interesting. That's just a fiery spirit. That's what I like to think of that as.
Yeah.
Neat. Um, and what is it about gaming that you like the best? Is there any one thing you could put your finger on?
Well, this is kind of something that goes back to when I was a child. So
Hmm.
I grew up as an only child,
Okay.
and as I said, when we moved, I moved from suburban Massachusetts to very
Ah,
rural New Hampshire.
okay.
Um, and I had a couple of friends, but it's a very different feeling or
Mm,
aspect of, way of life. So
sure.
I kind of went into video games as a way to escape, and I
Okay.
loved RPGs because I could escape. There's a whole different
Yes.
world, there's a whole story. Most of them have side quests, and I loved it. And that's
Mm,
something I still love now is being able to escape to someone else's world and they took their idea and they made this and
right.
you can kind of just live in there and be like, wow, this is great.
Yeah.
So I just love that aspect of, you know,
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, the escape and
yeah,
living in that. Yeah, that's great.
yeah.
um, And when you do get to stream anyway, what's your favorite aspect of streaming?
Oh, I love talking to the people that stop in. I love,
The
if I'm playing a game that I suck, I love it when people come in and as long as they're respectful and not
Yeah,
just like, totally crude about it.
yeah.
But they're like, oh, here's some tips. Or like, oh, you could be
Okay.
better if you did this. Like, I love that. Or
Mm,
if someone comes in and they're having a bad day and I can brighten their day. Or just chatting with people. Like,
mm.
as I said, I used to be very shy, and this was a way for me to break
Um,
out of that a
Neat.
little bit more. So it's really awesome for me to be able to share my passion with other people who are passionate about like the same thing.
That's true. Yeah. Neat. And I really do. It sort of brings it back to the what you were talking about earlier, the support.
Yeah,
Like when you got that gift, just the right
yeah.
time. Yeah. Neat. Well, that's actually all the time we have today on Mortal to Mortal. But Ashley, thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah,
Yay.
thanks for having me. Thank you so much.
So, viewers at home, check out all of Ashley's stuff in the About section below, so you can, catch her stream, follow her on Twitter, and whatever else she's on. It'll be down there. Check it out. Before we wrap up, though, do you have anything, thoughts or a message that you'd like to leave the viewers with?
Um, well, yeah, like if someone's thinking about streaming or starting a YouTube channel or anything, I say go for it. Like
Hmm.
it's a great experience. It's a learning experience and learning how to stream or edit videos or anything like that. But it's also great, even if you only connect to 3 or 4 people, those are different connections than you have in everyday life. And I'd say go for it. Like
Hmm.
there's no harm in trying something new.
Beautiful. Absolutely. Yep. You heard her, viewers. Go, go. Follow your dreams. Well, thank you again, Ashley, so much. And I will see you all next week.
All right, bye.
Okay. Hi.